What are the rights of women? How are women protected in Nigeria, West Africa? Women who are victims of domestic violence, how are they protected in their homes? How are children who are raised in environments where violence is exhibited, how are they protected? What are their rights? How do they seek help? I'm making this podcast in particular reference to Lizzy Johnson, the wife of the man they call Apostle Johnson Suleiman. In my previous broadcast, I was actually trying to actually find out. I'm not a psychologist, but I know psychologists actually describe the Stockholm syndrome, where a victim actually tries to protect his or her abuser. Obviously, even when if the police are called, the victim tries to cover up for the abuser. So it actually means that the victim has gone through abuse for so long that they actually begin to accept the abuse as normal. So we are not sure what the mental state of Lizzy Johnson is, to be quite honest. This is a matter of public policy, and I think it would be wise for me to actually kind of talk about it and to give a summary of what I think should be done, especially not only for Lizzy Johnson, but for other women who perhaps may be going through the same thing that Lizzy Johnson is going through. My name is Kate Okoli. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel, Live Class with Kate Okoli. On this channel, we talk about so many things, issues of abuse. We talk about healthy relationships. We talk about domestic violence. We talk about even matters that covers the laws, with particular reference to the UK immigration law, family law, divorce, employment matters, and then litigation to an extent. We kind of give a summary or a brief. We give nuggets that can actually help people to lead them as to know what their rights are. So please like and share and subscribe. Tell your friends about this channel. Support this channel. Let's grow this channel together. There's a whole lot that haven't practiced law in two different jurisdictions for over a period of 28 years. There's a lot I have to give to this is a kind of giving back to my community. So encourage me by making this platform a more interactive platform by liking and commenting and obviously and sharing and telling as many people as possible about this channel. Let's grow this channel together. Now, back to my topic for today. In my previous videos, I have looked at my own opinion as to what I think is going on. I did two reactionary videos about Lizzy Johnson's comments about according to her, the false allegation that was made against her husband. I think she did that video about like sometimes around 2015. And now suddenly Stephanie Otobo has reappeared. Prior to Stephanie Otobo reappearing, there are other people who have also appeared, come up on social media to say, to tell their stories, because no matter what it is, you cannot help people tell their stories. You cannot help people tell their stories. You cannot say somebody is blackmailing you when they have not asked you for money, or they have not given you a condition that if you don't give them so and so amount, they're going to come out in public to talk about obviously lies against you or things like that. This is a case of people of women, most importantly, who are victims of abuse, who have been exploited by a man who they looked up to as a religious leader, who used his position to exploit these women. And then, unfortunately, his wife comes up to kind of rebut and to kind of undermine the extent of the damage of her husband's action on this victim. So that is what actually bothers me. So now looking at the other flip side of the story, for one, as a woman, I'm a bit also concerned and worried about the state of her mind of Lizzie Johnson, because no mother, no woman would actually shamelessly come up based on all these findings and allegations clearly coming up to put up a bold face to debunk everything that has been said. She's actually kind of personalizing it, making it look as if it's anybody is asking her about her relationship with her husband, whether she loves him or not. She actually undermines the feelings of these victims who are hurting. So these are my concern. Now, in moving forward, again, there's another thing. The question now is, does she actually know what her own rights are as a victim of abuse? Now, a lot of times people think that abuse is only when a woman is physically hit or when a man is physically hit or things like that. Abuse is all the interpretation of abuse and domestic violence is all encompassing. It can be financial abuse, it can be neglect, it can be emotional and psychological abuse. As a matter of fact, emotional and psychological abuse is even more damaging and more severe, because you realize that a lot of women have actually ended up in psychiatric hospitals because of emotional abuse. Now, one thing you must know is that when a woman is in a married woman is in a relationship with her husband, she expects commitment, she expects to be with the husband. She expects that stability and everything. She expects also transparency to the extent that she actually thinks that she's building with that man, especially under the Christian ethos. She actually thinks that she's building with that man. The marriage bed should actually be undefiled. So you can imagine when a woman now is married to a man who is a philandering man, what happens to her? The pain and the hurt, the sleepless nights, the severe pain that she feels, the mental torture, the heartaches, the heartbreaks that she goes through every single day. She becomes depressed, she loses appetite. A whole lot is going on in her mind. Having said that, there are victims. There are women who are victims who, over the years, now begin to accept that condition. They actually think that it's okay. And then sometimes you see them actually defending their husbands. And they give all kinds of reasons why this is. Sometimes they want to stay back because back in the marriage because of their children. Sometimes because they are not financially independent. The husband is their sole provider. So they don't really know where to start from. They don't know. They will become homeless. If they speak up, they don't financially, they are not strong. And you realize that men like that, most times, they actually don't try to empower make the woman financially independent. They continue to make her to be completely dependent on them. So because using that as a tool of control. So we are not sure actually of the position of Lizzie Solomon, except she begins to speak up. Now, the question is, what are her rights? A woman like that, does she actually have a right? How does the justice system, the criminal justice system in Nigeria, protect women who are going through emotional and psychological abuse? If you are a lawyer you are a qualified lawyer in Nigeria who is practicing, I may want to actually, I would like to have to hear your opinion, on this. Comment on the comment section. Let me hear your opinion. How does a woman's right get protected if she's a victim of abuse, especially when she's a victim of emotional and psychological abuse? And you realize that with men such as this, who are psychopaths, sometimes there may be incidences of physical abuse, because the moment a man is sleeping around and the woman wants to question it, most times, 80% of the times, they become violent, physically violent. But until this woman speaks up, it's possible that we might not actually know what is going on, because all she has come out to do is actually to debunk and to continue to protect her husband's wrongdoings and to cover it up. And then she's actually kind of even quoting the scriptures and actually saying that her husband fears God, her husband is a good man, he likes helping people, using all trying to cover up this man's wrong. The question now remains, does she really know her rights? Is she scared? Has she been groomed over the years by this man? Has she been brainwashed over the years by this man? Is she an accomplice? Is she an accomplice? Is she working hand in hand with the husband, knowing that even though what he's doing is wrong, but she's trying to cover him because she actually also enjoys from the booty of whatever it is, physically and spiritually, that the husband gets out of this immorality, so to say. So these are all the questions. Does she, if, for example, she's innocent of all of this, does she really know how can the legal system in Nigeria protect a woman such as this? Now, again, moving on to the children, how do they really bother about how the children are affected? How will this conduct affect the children, knowing that the world is now a global village? They have friends, they attend schools, and every single day, their friends may stumble into this kind of allegations that are made by victims on the internet, and they may want to bring it to their attention. How will this, how are the children going to be affected emotionally and psychologically by this whole drama that their dad is involved with? I guess based on the numbers of years they've married, maybe they'll have children who are in their early 20s, or they'll have children who are teenagers. What is it that the children also know about the relationship between their mom and dad? Has their mom ever made complaints to them about the conduct of their father and his promiscuity, and how he runs around town with basically anything in skirt, including his domestic staff? How are these children affected? These children, do they need counseling? Do they also need help just like their mother? So how does the system in Nigeria protect a woman such as Johnson Suleiman? We're not going to talk about the regulators in Nigeria of the PFN, the regulators. I don't know how functional they are, but what I'm made to understand is that it's like 80% or 90% of the people who are supposed to speak up, even as the regulators, they also indulge in this kind of illicit practices. You understand? So if you are a lawyer, I would like to hear from you. When a woman is going through emotional and psychological abuse, how does the legal system help her? Does she have access to legal aid? Are there human rights lawyers who can take up her case to fight for her and to help her, and also in protecting her, just in case she's scared of even speaking up, in case the man maybe actually has threatened her to say if she speaks up, her life may be in danger? So these are some of the things we really have to look up into. How will this conduct or this scandal affect the children in the future, the children of this family in the future? How will it affect the children? Why does a person who is a victim now have to be arrested by her abuser and then locked up by the Nigerian police? Why is the legal system so porous and so corrupt? You understand? So these are the things. So if you are a lawyer, you are a practicing lawyer in Nigeria, I would like to know your comment, or if you want to kind of contact me so we can actually have a show on this, to know about the rights of women, to know about, just in case there are other women who are also in Lizzy Johnson's position. Maybe they are seeking help, but they don't know where to go. We can actually signpost them to organizations and charities in Nigeria, where they can go to seek help or to speak up about the emotional and psychological abuse that they are going through. Also, how do we help the children of Johnson Suleiman? How are they going to grow up to become whole adults who obviously were raised in a stable home, considering the pedigree of Johnson Suleiman? Also considering his pedigree, are the children actually safe around such a man who goes around with just about anything in skirts? And he's got 3 daughters. Are the children actually safe around such a man? How do we protect? How does the system, how are there things, machineries that are put in place to protect even the children of that family, to make sure that they also don't suffer sexual abuse in the hands of Johnson Suleiman? So these are the things obviously, these are the issues I would really like to discuss with some of the qualified lawyers in Nigeria. If, for example, you are watching this program and obviously you tag as many lawyers in Nigeria as possible, I would like to know their opinion on this. You understand? Now, in the UK, when a person has been found guilty, the person will be put in the sex offenders register. They will have nothing to do with, especially young children. Depends on the numbers of years of imprisonment and all of that. You understand? How do we now protect children and young adults from a religious leader, so in quotes, like Johnson Suleiman, with this history of abuse of women, especially now that most of his victims, these are even the ones that we know. I'm sure, I guess there are so many other women who may have had encounters with this man that are yet to come up to tell their stories. At every point in time, we must allow women to feel free to tell their story. It is not easy for a woman who is a victim of abuse to come out on social media to tell her story. It is not easy. So whenever these women, they have, taken up, let the internet be a safe space for them to be able to air their views, so that other women also will be able to listen to them and get empowered to come up to tell their stories. Because a problem halved is a problem solved. Don't shut down these women each time they come up to speak up on their experiences, and don't make a light of their pain and their hurts. Don't make a light of it, because at the end of the day, they are humans. They're humans. Don't make a light of it. So, in rounding up, if you are a lawyer, you are based in Nigeria, I would like to hear from you. How are the rights of women protected as far as abuse, physical abuse, emotional abuse, psychological abuse, and financial abuse? How? Because you realize that a lot of times women who are victims of abuse sometimes don't want to come up or want to speak up because they are scared. Obviously, they don't want to be thrown out of their matrimonial home, because their husband, who is the abuser, is the sole provider. They don't have anything. The house belongs to him. Nothing is in their name. Usually, most abusers who are narcissists, they have everything planned, that and actually use finance to actually control their such women to their advantage. So if you're a lawyer, try and contact me, or I would like to see your comments on the comment section. If you want us to organize a show where we can discuss this, I'm most obliged. I will make myself available so that we can discuss it, so that other women also who are in Nigeria and other parts of Africa, they can learn one or two things on how to protect themselves against risk, and also to protect their children. One thing you must realize: an undisciplined male organ doesn't know a biological daughter. An undisciplined male organ doesn't know a biological daughter. I repeat again, an undisciplined male organ doesn't know a biological daughter. So, Mrs. Lizzy Johnson Suleiman, an undisciplined male organ doesn't know a biological daughter. So, what am I trying to say? Keep an eye on your three daughters. Keep an eye on your three daughters. You don't take a whole chicken and put it in the lion's den, and then turn your back and think that by the time you come back, the chicken will remain whole. An undisciplined male organ doesn't know the difference between a biological daughter and a daughter that is not a biological daughter. An undisciplined male organ doesn't know the difference between this person is my daughter or the other person is not my daughter. If he can do it to one, he can do it to the other. Thank you very much. I hope you've learned one or two lessons from this broadcast. Thank you very much. A word they say is enough for the wise. Bye-bye.